Good afternoon and welcome to Masterclass 2 of the Accordion Seminars. I'm Dr. William Schimmel, and we had a great session yesterday, and we have a great one prepared for you today. As accordionists, we've all been called for some strange gigs occasionally. I know I have. I got called for a divorce party once. I got called for a certain gig where I had to stroll around this swimming pool. And I actually got there a day early so I can practice so no one would push me so I wouldn't fall into the pool. There's going to be a lot of people, and so you never know. And so I actually got there a day early and walked around and just felt the vibe of the swimming pool. Now, Paul Stein is going to give us a little talk on playing at his own weddings. And perhaps you'll find that unusual. May not be unusual today, but it's the first time I heard it. I didn't play for mine. And I don't know too many other people who basically were the hired accordionist at their own weddings. But Paul has something to share with us. And so I'm going to introduce to you Paul Stein performing at his own weddings. Here's Paul.
Good afternoon, everyone. As many of you know, I'm Paul Stein, and at Bill's seminar concert series, I generally give a workshop on a nuts and bolts topic for accordionists. For example, how to play in nursing homes, how to play in parades, how to play in demonstrations, how to play in homeless dinners. And the reason I cover these topics is because I've experienced with all of them. And today, I have an unusual topic, but I'm probably one of the world's experts, I would say somewhat immodestly, on this subject. And the subject is playing the accordion as a soloist at your own wedding. Now, why am I one of the world's experts on this topic? Because I have played at 2/3 of my weddings. Of course, that raises the question in your mind, how many weddings did you participate in as a groom? And actually, I've been married 3 times, three wonderful women. I'm pleased to say I am still on very warm terms with my first and second wife, and very happily married to my third wife. So that is where I claim my expertise from, playing it at 2 out of my 3 weddings. The first one was back in 1971. And the last one was toward the end of 2021. So I'll let that sink in for a minute. And if any of you want to question my expertise, feel free, because who knows? In any event, the topic of this talk is playing at your own wedding as an accordionist. And I gave a little hint of that with the opening number, as you saw there. Surprisingly, my first piece of advice to you on this topic is think very, very carefully about whether you should play at your own wedding. There are advantages to playing at your own wedding and disadvantages, and I will review those shortly. But don't come to the conclusion just because I'm presenting a workshop on playing at your own wedding that I necessarily recommend that you should. Okay, so just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, now why would you want to play at your own wedding? Okay, first of all, you like to play. I love to play the accordion. And all my accordionist friends, they love to play the accordion. If not, they would have dropped it a long time ago, as millions of people have dropped it from the 50s or 60s or 70s. Okay. You may want to play because your friends and relatives like to listen to you. Hopefully, your friends and relatives like to listen to you. Practically all of my friends and relatives like to listen to me. So it's a nice thing to do. You think they'll enjoy it. Then, in general, music makes the party, especially at weddings. And hiring musicians, can be expensive. Some of your friends may play for free, do you a favor, and I've had that experience also. But it's very economical if you play at your own wedding. Next reason, maybe, just maybe, I'm not sure about this, but maybe your fiance is attracted to you because you play the accordion and you want to remind him or her of how much she or he is attracted to you. And do me a favor, don't post any snide comments about whether they're attracted to your playing the accordion, but keep them to yourself. Okay, maybe I left out a reason or two, but there are a number of good reasons I just presented about why you would want to play at your own wedding. Now, there are also a number of reasons why you wouldn't want to play at your own wedding. First of all, it requires presentation. Now, it requires presentation time. You may play a song that you've played hundreds of times before and everything, but still, you should practice. It doesn't matter what the song is and how many times you played it. It's always a good idea to practice before you do a performance. If you do play at your own wedding, it's a distraction to you. And in some ways, the smaller, I can argue it either way, the smaller the wedding is, the more you're going to have to pay attention to a million other things. Or the larger the wedding is, you're going to have to pay attention to a lot of other things. In other words, a very small wedding, you're not going to be hiring people to do all the logistics for you. You're going to have to do a lot of it yourself. And if it's a large wedding, though, you may have to sort of supervise a whole bunch of people who are taking care of all the details of the wedding. So if you're playing, it takes some time and distracts you from other things that you should be doing. The next reason you might not want to play at your wedding is as a solo musician, as a solo accordionist, regardless of the occasion or the venue, you're drawing attention to yourself. And this is not your wedding alone, this is your wedding and your spouse's wedding. And therefore, maybe it's not a good idea on this joint celebration together to draw extra attention to yourself by playing the accordion. Also, regardless of how long the wedding is, and some are short and some are longer, and my most recent wedding with my dear Elena Schwalski, it was during the pandemic, and the weather was not that great. It was on the cold side, and we had the wedding out on our stoop, on our Brooklyn brownstone stoop. So people weren't going to hang around for a long time. But regardless of the venue, even if it's indoors at a warm, comfortable venue, the wedding is just so much time. And whether you have a small number of people or a large number of people, people want to greet you and meet you and socialize with you. Perhaps many of them came from out of town. They haven't seen you for a long time. So if you're playing the accordion, you're taking time away from visiting with all your guests who made a real effort to come and celebrate your joyous occasion. And also you're taking time away from your spouse who, and that's not necessarily a good thing to do. Also, if it's a Jewish wedding and you do some of the traditional Jewish things like breaking the glass, and then after you break the glass, it's traditional to play most commonly Chassan Kala Mazel Tov or groom and bride congratulations. If you just, you know, kiss the bride, broke the glass, it's a little awkward to get your accordion on just then and play Chassan Kala Mazel Tov. I mean, I did play Chassan Kala Mazel Tov, but it had to wait a while till I got my accordion on and afterward. Um, so, in conclusion, if you're thinking of playing the accordion at your own wedding, think again. Maybe you shouldn't. But if you do decide to play, make sure your fiance likes your choice of songs. Prepare way in advance so you can pay attention to all the other myriad details that you probably have to think about on the day of your wedding. And play briefly so you can spend more time with your guests and pay attention to your bride and not hog the spotlight on this joyous day for both of you.
Rita Davidson, one of her wonderful achievements is she took the accordion into the public school system before many people did, and she used it in her education. She has performed with symphony orchestras, and she has been this fervent champion of the music of Eugene Ettore. She was his protege, however you call it, and she has devoted her accordion life into giving lectures and concerts on the music of Eugene Ettore. I knew Gene. He was quite a personality. He was a genius as an accordion composer. And again, he also played French horn. And again, accordion was, of course, his homing pigeon. And he's noted for this extremely virtuosic, slippery kind of writing. And many of his pieces were used as test pieces for concerts. They're extremely virtuosic. And many of them test your endurance. And Rita always rises to the occasion. And so I'd like now to introduce to you Rita Davidson telling us and performing the music of Eugene Ettore. The first piece she'll play will be a work called Contrast. And I believe that was a piece that Eugene wrote that he dedicated to Charles Magnanti. And then the second one, the Concert Etude number 2, that's a backbreaker and a finger breaker. And that was one of the big test pieces. And again, Rita rises to the occasion. And the third one, Introduction, Cadenza, and Tarantella, I remember way back in the 60s when that was first written, and I saw one of the first manuscript editions of it. I don't know whether it was printed or published after that. And apparently Rita over the years has premiered the work. So we're going to hear those 3 works. And so this is Rita Davidson, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so this is called Contrast, and I'm going to do my best to do a good job with it. Okay, here we go. Okay, concert etude number 2. So I'm proud to present Eugene Latour's introduction, Cadenza and Tarantella.
This topic is the accordion as smilophone. I'm sure you've seen many people smiling with their accordion. Now, there's various ways to smile. There's the big grin. There's a medium grin. And there's the interiorized smile that isn't quite a smile at all. And there's that friendly look, and there's that friendly, unimpressed look. And let me see if I can demonstrate. Of course, there's that big smile, and there's that friendly, unimpressed, and there's just friendly. And what I'm getting at is whatever situation you're in the performance dimension, make sure that your facial expressions fit what you're doing. Now, take Lawrence Welk. We all have watched the Lawrence Welk show, and we've all seen how large they all smile on the show. And I've heard accordionists, especially those who are more in the classical dimension, I've heard them make fun of that. But here's the interesting thing. Lawrence Welk and his team know who their audience are, or is, or are. And they know for a fact that this particular audience is looking for that kind of smile. So therefore, that smile, those big smiles or even those grins are appropriate to that particular audience because that is what they're looking for. That is what they expect. Each kind of music depends on your facial expressions matching the kind of music. Now, they say that I rarely smile when I play, but just because I don't have an exterior smile, it doesn't mean that I don't have an interior smile. If I'm playing something pleasant, you will feel a friendly smile coming from within. If I'm playing sad, you may feel that as well. But nonetheless, treat the accordion as your own smilophone, and your performances will take on a much better dimension. And again, don't get goofy with it. Know who your audiences are and apply the appropriate means to achieve that particular end. You can do it. Now, Sari Kalin has been with us for a number of years, and she always performs for criticism. And she did a wonderful video based on a Beatles song, Forever Knows. And we're going to play that, and then I'm going to make some comments. And let's see where that goes. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Sari Kalin.
Somehow you have to keep it the rhythm. And I think if you do variation of these,
yeah,
according to the drums,
yeah.
somehow bring the.
Off your mind, relax and float downstream. It is not dying. It is not dying.
I don't know. That
And then
really
it-
answered. Yes.
Yes.
Sari, you get better every year. And this one was really terrific. I really loved the way you combined all your little clips with the rhythmic beat. And I also liked the way you talked about your former teacher, Roberto Casals, who I also taught for a while, the late Roberto, who actually was part of your video and as the person who told you to get into the rhythm. And it ended up as a terrific looking video and terrific sounding. Now, I'm going to make one comment. And look, you're from Boston, and I'm sure you know that Ringo Starr was given an honorary degree by Berklee College of Music. And he even said, basically, all I do is bang the drum, but I bang the drum in the right spot. And here is what I'm trying to relate to you. What you would benefit from doing is to, in your rhythms, find that sweet spot in the beat, the way the best drummers do. And the best jazz drummers and best rock drummers, they get right into the pocket of the beat. And you'll know it when you're there. As a matter of fact, it's hard to explain it any other way, but you know when you've reached it. And when you listen to music by the Beatles, Ringo Starr was a master of it. Charlie Watts was a master of it. Ginger Baker was a master of it. And if you can get your rhythm to go into that particular sweet spot area where it's right on the nose, then your performances will come together in an entire new way with an entire new vitality. And so that is my advice to you. And frankly, I'm just taking that advice from the best. And so thank you for sharing that. And now I'd like to introduce another gentleman on our seminar series that has been performing for a few years for guidance and critique. And this is Jack DiBenedetto. And he chose to play something from the 1980s, which was during that golden age of electronica. Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds. And there's an interesting story behind Simple Minds, but I don't want to take away from Jack DiBenedetto. Let's listen to his rendition of it, and then I'll make some comments. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack DiBenedetto.
Thank you.
Jack, I really enjoyed that. And what really surprised me was your choice. And I didn't expect it, as a matter of fact. And I was pleasantly surprised that you chose that number. Again, it was from the 80s. It's kind of an 80s anthem. It was used in the movie The Breakfast Club, and it launched many careers. And it was by a group, Simple Minds. I like the fact that you do it in a two-part, almost Baroque quality. And that way, you don't have to use all these thick chords. Sometimes just a simple two-part is the best way to go. And I think that was a smart move. I really do. For those of you who don't know, Simple Minds was a group from Glasgow, Scotland, originally a punk band. The punk band was called Johnny and the Self-Abusers, and they changed their name to Simple Minds. Good thing that they did. And they were approached to do Don't You Forget About Me for this movie. They turned it down. And so did many other artists, Billy Idol, I'm sorry, Brian Ferry, a number of other rock bands. And somewhere along the line, they were convinced to record it for the movie. And sure enough, it became one of their biggest hits. And as a matter of fact, it's the only one I remember right now. And it's a terrific song. And you did a good job with it, Jack. And my one comment was, and it's the same comment that I gave Sari, is that lock in the beat more and find that pocket of the beat, because I want to know that I'm hearing rock and roll. And when I feel that, then it all comes together. Okay? Good work, Jack. Good work, Sari. I'm now going to introduce the Main Squeeze Orchestra. They're a group of ladies. The orchestra was founded by the late Walter Kerr. I've written a number of works for them. This one is called Royal Twilight Crystals, and needs no explanation. Denise Konchelik did the video. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Royal Twilight Crystals, performed by the Main Squeeze Orchestra. David First is one of our most adventuresome composers on the scene today. And he's written a number of works that I have performed and premiered. And he's been an active member of our seminars for many, many years. He has studied with me way back in the older days. And he's written a new work for me called Revolution Tropes. And it is exactly what it is. It's a series of tropes and things that I can make up and things that I can work with, extend, bring to silences, work with dynamic range, and a number of really, really interesting possibilities. I don't want to be over academic about it because there's a fun aspect also. So here is Revolution Tropes by David First. That was Revolution Tropes by David First, written for me. And as you noticed, I quoted Eleanor Rigby. We're having a lot of Beatles material. Sari's piece was from Revolver. And there'll be a few more Beatle pieces as we go down the line. Lee McClure gave me a text. Sometimes a composer will hand you a text and let you do what you need to do, especially if they know the kind of work that you do. And Lee gave me a text called Too Much Information, which is appropriate for our weekend. So let's listen to Too Much Information, Lee McClure. Too much information. Am I verbose? convoluted, euphemistic honesty. But just let me say, I hope it's not superfluous. God forbid I'm redundant. Maybe I'm pleonastic. Surely helplessly wordy. Please hold your protestations. Ignore my superannuated, convoluted, extravagant circumlocutions. I am just trying to say that I love you. That I love you. That I love you. Too much information, Lee McClure. This brings us to the end of Masterclass number 2. We're going to take a little break. You can type in some comments, and we'll get ready for concert number 2. This is Dr. William Schimmel. Welcome to concert number 2. Again, I'm Dr. William Schimmel. And our next gentleman, Paul Stein, who's been with the seminars since the very, very beginning. And he chose to do 3 Beatles songs. And I said to him, I said, well, Paul, what are you bringing to the Beatles that we would normally not hear? And he said, well, I'd like to play When I'm 64, Michelle, and Obladi Blada. And I said, well, they're done a lot. I said, what could you do more with it that would be uniquely Paul Stein? And I had realized that he was an expert performer of Yiddish theater and klezmer music. He has a wide repertoire of that. And I said, is there anything of that that you can bring to the Beatles, and where we can hear Paul Stein meeting the Beatles? And so I gave him that direction and instruction, and he really rose to the occasion. So let us hear and see Paul Stein doing 3 Beatles songs, When I'm 64, Michelle, and Obladi Blada. Paul Stein. One of the greatest indie rock singers today is Cornmo. He's also classically trained. We did the entire Schubert Winterreise together, and he recently appeared on my Not Entirely Schubert program at the Lincoln Center Library a few weeks ago. And he is now going to do an original work of his, which he calls Glue. So let's listen and see Cornmo. Dr. Hugo Goldenzweig is a pianist who works very, very closely with me. We give a yearly concert at the Mannes College of Music, where he's on the faculty. And today, we're going to play together an etude by Szymanowski, the etude Opus 4, number 3 in B-flat minor. But here, the accordion becomes a shadow, a dark shadow around the particular prelude, taking it into a more direction perhaps apropos to the times we're living now with all the stuff that's going around. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Hugo Goldenzweig and myself. to me, one of the best jazz pianists on the scene today is William Carmichael. And we team together from time to time. And I look forward to more collaborations down the road. But here again, the accordion becomes a distant shadow. And here you can almost imagine some cafe in Paris where William Carmichael was playing in one cafe, and a cafe down the road or down the street, you can actually hear the accordion playing. And it has that particular kind of counterpoint. But the accordion still is a shadow, because the piece that William Carmichael was playing is How Deep is the Ocean? So ladies and gentlemen, William Carmichael. John Fody's been with us for many years, and I love his style. It has a New Jersey shore point quality to the whole thing. I sometimes hear Bruce Springsteen, and he actually lives in Cape May, New Jersey. So he brings a wonderful vibe to the accordion. And he will do a piece called We All Fall Down. And ladies and gentlemen, John Fody.
Well, we all fall down, but the world just keeps on spinning. Yeah, we all fall down, fall down. Well, we all fell down, but the world just kept on spinning. Yeah, we all fall down, fall down. What are you doing? Wake up, blue. Oh, come on. Do you want it or no? Stop, go, go, go. Stop, go, go, go. Take him out. Well, we all fall down, but the world just keeps on spinning. Yeah, we all fall down, fall down. Well, we all fell down, but the world just kept What's wrong with you? Kick the damn ball. Kick the damn ball. He's got his best player on the bench. Well, we all fall down, but the world, it keeps on spinning. Yeah, we all fall down, fall down. If he gives it to you, put him on his back. If he gives it to you, put him on his fucking ass. Nobody's teaching them, and that's the real problem. We have a collegiate athlete, so we know. And this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. So we all fall down, but the world just keeps on spinning. Yeah, we all fall down, fall down. Well, we all fall down, but the world just kept on spinning. The verses for that song were not written by me. They were written by parents at my son's soccer game. He's 7 years old, and they're lyrics. So thank you, parents.
Godfrey Nelson and Lorraine Nelson Wolf are graduates of the Order of the Shield program. That's a private studies program that is the virtual representation of the New Power Conservatory, where I was an accordion composition major. And a number of other people have been graduates. Denise is a graduate. And you'll hear Erica Mancini, she's a graduate. But nonetheless, Godfrey Nelson is a wonderful composer. He composed Skin to Skin with Jake Holmes for Harry Belafonte, one of Harry Belafonte's latest big hits. Lorraine Nelson Wolf is very active in the church scene. She produced numerous albums that are faith-oriented. She also appeared in many Broadway shows as a pianist as well as a conductor. They wrote a piece called Break the Rules, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful jazz-oriented piece that I joined them in. So here is Godfrey Nelson, Lorraine Nelson Wolf in Break the Rules.
Sometimes the poetry doesn't seem to rhyme. Sometimes it's just a little heavier time. Sometimes you have to remake the rules.
That means what?
And sometimes you just have to F the rules. And then sometimes you'll have to obey the rules to avoid the electric chair.
Dr. Denise Konchelik, again, a member and graduate of the Order of the Shield, has studied and worked with me for quite a few years already. And she's written a short piece called Tableau 1-2. And it's based upon using 3 notes, single notes in the left hand. And that's pretty much the essence of the piece. It's a wonderful short little piece. And so let's experience it. And Dr. Denise Konchelik. I'm now going to perform 2 jazz realities. The first one by Cole Porter, So in Love, from Kiss Me Kate. And now I'll do All the Things You Are by Jerome Kern. That was Lachrymé by John Dalland, performed by Gene Valonis. Gene, that was a beautiful performance. That marks the end of concert number 2. And we look forward to tomorrow. And thank you. This is Dr. William Schimmel. And I look forward to all the wonderful remarks you'll be giving us.